Richard Phillips survived the longest wrongful prison sentence in American history. An innocent man spent 46 years in prison.
And the man that framed him ended up at the same prison as him. Would you take revenge or have mercy?
Shit, I know what I do. But anywho, man, let's go and get into it, man. Richard Phillips, man, it was a dude from back in the 1970s, back in Detroit, Michigan, man. He came from a broken home, you know what I'm saying, at a young age. He got into a life of crime because he had a real abusive stepfather, so he ran away from home. You know what I'm saying, got into a life of crime on the streets. That's where he met this dude who became his best friend named Fred Mitchell, you know what I'm saying?
Watch your friends.
Watch your friends, man. So during their time of hanging out, they both was getting in trouble, you know, causing mischief, but Richard Phillips himself, he had got locked up as a youngin, and when he was young. Joyriding. So he did like a little small prison stint, got out on parole, got him a good job, got him a wife, had 2 kids, and went, you know what I'm saying, trying to better himself and leave that street life behind. But his homeboy...
As he should.
But his homeboy, Fred Mitchell, he was just living like this, you know what I'm saying, from day one, so that was just him.
He didn't care.
You feel me? So, what happened to Philip again when he had a job?
This man got involved in a prank. He didn't even do the prank. Someone put a lit cigarette in someone's back pocket and it went bad. And they said they blamed it on him, so he ended up losing his job. So Richard Phillips lost his job.
So while Richard Phillips was working, Fred Mitchell was actually in prison, you know what I'm saying? Serving time, doing his 1-2, living how he living. So around the same time when Richard Phillips lost his job, Fred Mitchell was getting out of prison, you know what I'm saying? So Phillips, feeling depressed, turned right back to his old friend.
Drugs, snorting heroin, late nights, living a double life. Gangster at night, father during the day.
Yep. But while in prison, Fred Mitchell met another friend named Richard Palumbo, aka Dago. You know what I'm saying? And going to skip it to what's really going on. So boom. They committed an armed robbery outside of a convenience store, in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So Richard Palumbo was a white guy. He went inside the store. Boom, hey, let me get the money. You know what I'm saying? Blase, blase. But one black guy stood at the door keeping lookout to make sure, you know what I'm saying, nothing was going on. So as they got away, they jumped in the car. They cleared it. They got away. But the tag came back. The camera caught the footage and the tag came back underneath Richard Palumbo, so the police go pick up Richard Palumbo and lock him up. So they're asking Palumbo, yo, you had an accomplice. Footage showing, but who was it? Witnesses saying you had an accomplice, who was it? Palumbo kept it G.
Yeah, he ain't tell.
He was like, man, listen, I don't know.
But they know he got 2 best friends that are black, and they just so happen to look similar.
So they picked up Richard Phillips, and they pick up Fred Mitchell, locked them up, put them in the lineup, and a couple witnesses picked out Richard Phillips as the accomplice. It never says does he really do it or not, you know what I'm saying, was it really him or not, but end of the day, they jab him up, he take charge, like, hey, you did it, hey, it is what it is, you got.
They both go to prison.
So they both go to prison. You got Palumbo in prison, and his co-defendant now, Richard Phillips, in prison, Fred Mitchell running free.
Yeah. So
that shit crazy. He was in the prison for 1 year, because that next winter, that's when another charge got put on Palumbo. A murder charge.
Yep. Supposedly, some random unknown person, the night that this man got killed, I believe his name was...
Gregory Harris.
Gregory Harris was the person that came up dead, right? So, someone called Gregory Harris' mother.
A lady?
And that she remained unknown. Mm-hmm. She called his mama and said, hey, your son just got pulled out the car by Dago, someone named Dago, and Fred Mitchell. She told his mama who it was. His mama called the police and said what happened. They couldn't find the body. They found
No. They didn't even look for it. They did nothing with the information. They left it as it was.
I thought they just didn't.
Nothing with information.
Okay.
Nothing.
They did find the vehicle.
They found the vehicle, so they had a vehicle.
And it had blood stains inside the vehicle.
In a police call, but done nothing with information. A whole year later,
yeah,
a service repairman, like a street repairman, doing his job on the street, seen a skeleton.
It was literally the skeleton of Gregory Harris.
So the police don't even go pick up the body or nothing. They done nothing with information. Like, fuck it, who cares? You know what I'm saying? So when he seen the body, he called people. Was like, hey.
And the skeleton had multiple gunshot wounds.
So now the police finally got involved. All right, we gotta go do our job. So they will get the body. Autopsy come out. Gunshot wounds. This was the body of Gregory Harris.
Yes.
So they got him. So boom. After they got the body, they got boom.
A month later.
A month later, they finally got the body. A year later, they got the body. Then a month later,
they got Mitchell.
They go pick up Fred Mitchell on different charges.
Yeah, not for the body.
They pick him up on robbery charges and a concealed weapon charge. You know what I'm saying?
But guess what Fred Mitchell decides to do?
Hey, I got information
on Gregory Harris's murder.
And who killed him? And guess who said killed him? Richard Palumbo and Richard Phillips.
AKA Dago and Richard Phillips.
Now these boys sitting there, you know what I'm saying, in prison serving.
And he's the one that...
Come on, man. So now these boys sitting in prison, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
On a 7-year bid for the robbery of the store.
They don't even know what's going on.
They don't know what's going on, but then a year later, they come pick them boys up from the prison like, hey, y'all got some new charges.
Y'all got an add-on, time to go back to court.
What y'all know about Gregory Harris?
And don't even know nothing about him.
Boom, so with no physical evidence, no circumstantial evidence, no evidence at all, but Fred Mitchell word, they charge.
Sworn testimony.
It's a sworn testimony. They charge Richard Palumbo and Richard Phillips for the murder of Gregory Harris. And it's so crazy because Fred Mitchell even incriminated himself by saying, like, listen, I'm the one that set up and lured Gregory Harris for the murder. You know
He's
what I'm
saying
saying?
this on the stand.
On the stand, telling him, listen, I set this man up because he stole money from my mama while I was locked up. So I wanted to get him back. But somehow the prosecutors and whoever spent his story. Don't ask me how. It made it seem like, no, he's not really saying that. What he's really saying is he heard Richard Phillips and Richard Palumbo conspiring to kill this man Gregory Harris because the dude Gregory Harris robbed Richard Palumbo's cousin who was supposed to be a drug dealer. Come to find out, that cousin never even existed, bruh. So now, and Richard Phillips' lawyer the whole time during the trial wasn't saying nothing.
Did not say anything.
He did say one dumb ass shit. Hold on.
This man literally is letting this man say something crazy. The prosecutor say that's not what he meant when he took the stand. This is what he really meant. And his lawyers just sit and they ain't say objection, nothing.
That's all he had to say. You know, they talk about Gregory Harris being dead. I don't know if Gregory Harris is dead.
What?
Like, what they got to do? Anything. So, you know, so when they pretty much start cross-examining Richard Palumbo, they asking Dago like, yo, what happened? Dago keeping it G.
He don't say nothing.
Pretty much let him know, hey, you got me, and that's that. I'm not finna incriminate nobody, I ain't telling nobody else. But he also seen his own homeboy snitching on him and telling, yeah, it was them two, not even me. But he kept it so solid.
He ain't even say nothing.
He ain't say nothing.
He was scared though.
He was scared for his life. So the judge get to the statement real quick.
He was scared for his life. That's why he didn't say nothing. He was scared for his family's life too, cause he's locked up and this man on the streets.
He ain't free yet. He locked up. Reason why Fred Mitchell was telling so much, cause he was jammed up for the armed robbery charge and he had priors. So this man was supposed to get like 20, 30 years. But by him snitching and testifying, he caught like 4 years instead. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boy, incriminated himself. So long story short on that part, with all the bullshit going on, Richard Palumbo, Dago, and Richard Phillips both get life in prison.
They get sentenced to life.
So the judge asks Phillips, you have anything to say for your closing argument? He know he's screwed. He know how the system works. All Phillips said was not necessarily, Your Honor, except for the fact that I was not guilty, you know, even though I was found guilty. And it's not too much can be done about it right now to correct the injustice already. So all I can do is just, you know, wait until something develops in my favor. This man know he ain't had no hope. He know the system was messed up from the beginning.
This man literally had his whole story changed from what he said, taking the stand, swearing a fucking oath, you know what I'm saying? Then his lawyer don't say nothing. What did you expect this man to say?
He can't say nothing, so this man catch life in prison for something he ain't even do. And then, just back in like what, 1970?
Yeah.
All these years later,
2010.
Richard Palumbo had like some type of hearing.
A parole hearing.
So he going there and finally come out with the truth in 2010. I can't really blame him because like I say, he was just keeping it solid by being quiet. That's just how it go.
They said, we want to know what happened from beginning to end. And he met Fred Mitchell in prison.
Way back then.
Fred Mitchell's mother did get robbed by Gregory Harris. He went in his mama's house, stole $500 out her purse. And they conspired and came up with a plan in prison. Then when he got out, they see this man. They see Gregory Harris. They convince him to do a robbery with them on a grocery store.
Nah. Boom, how went again?
I thought they seen him in the store.
Nah, Fred Mitchell was like, Fred Mitchell came back from Vizzo, told his homeboy Richard Palumbo, was like, hey, this dude, I got word that this dude robbed my mama on the street for $500. You know what I'm saying? Took money out of her purse. Palumbo got nothing to do with it. They just became friends. So when they finally got out, Mitchell got out first. Palumbo got out after. You know, them boys still hanging and doing they one too, you know what I'm saying? So Mitchell tell Palumbo, hey, we finna go hit this lick at this store. So Palumbo like, hell yeah, you know how I'm rocking, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't have a car. But some way, somehow, when Palumbo was at the bus stop, he said, okay, I'm gonna take a bus to the lick and take a bus away from the lick. Like Palumbo's some wild shit.
Fred Mitchell had a car somehow.
Somehow get in contact with Gregory Harris. Was like, hey, give us a ride to the store, you know what I'm saying? So it'll be us three hit this lick. Not knowing that Fred already had the motor, I'm finna whack your ass, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, Dago doesn't know.
He don't even know what's going on.
He don't know that Gregory Harris is the dude that took the money yet.
So as they pull up, they pull up and pick up Dago from the bus stop. He like, oh shit, we got a whip, you know what I'm saying? So he jump in the whip and is ready to slide. They pull up to a corner store. Dago thinking this is the store they gonna hit. But Mitchell like, nah. Buddy finna go in and go buy some cigarettes, you know what I'm saying? And go case out the place. So Gregory Harris went inside the store, bought a cigarette, cased out the place, got back in the car. Fred Mitchell was like,
when he was inside the store looking, scoping it out to see how many people working in there, that's when Fred Mitchell told Dago, that's the dude that robbed my mama. We finna go pew, pew, pew.
So Dago in the back seat was like, shit, fuck it, you hear me?
Know what it is.
So he handed Mitchell the fire. Like, boom, we got the fire. So when Buddy got back in the car, and pretty much said, yeah, shit good. Alright. Mitchell said, hey, we'll pull off into the alleys. You know what I'm saying? We go in the alley, we go do our 1-2, then we'll escape back out. So when Buddy pulled off into the alley to get ducked off, Mitchell up that fire, bum, 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 killed him, took him out the car, bum, bum, bum. He told Dago, hey man, jump out, help me put the Buddy in the trunk. But they put him in the back seat of the car. Boom, locked him in, took him off, dumped the body somewhere, and went on about their business. So as Dago telling the story to the parole people, they like, Fred Mitchell, we see him on the case. What about the guy Richard Phillips? Dago was like, man, I ain't meet Buddy until 8 days after that murder. At a barbecue, 4th of July barbecue.
They killed this man. Dago did not meet Richard Phillips till 8 days after they killed that man.
On July 4th at a barbecue. That's when he met this man. He was like, man, I ain't meet this man until way
This
out.
is in 2010 though. He sat there for years after they got the information this man is innocent. Richard Phillips had to take everything, all the matters into his own hands, bruh.
And Dago helped too though, because Dago was feeling bad and trying to tell people like, yo, y'all, he say his conscience got to him like, yo, y'all got this man locked up. He trying to change his life, you know what I'm saying? Was like, yo, y'all got this man still locked up, and I told y'all back in 2010, he ain't got nothing to do with this. So he did a little something too, like, hey, even wrote Phillips, was like, hey man, I'm trying to do so-and-so. Boom, contact this attorney and like, let's work together to try to get you out of here. He said, man, my faith's sealed, you feel me? But you don't belong here. And I feel bad about it, but he also did it because Fred Mitchell finally died.
Yeah.
From like drugs and alcohol, so he felt like, all right, my family's safe now. Let me clear my conscience, you know what I'm saying? But nothing happened in 2010, it's just disappeared again.
But let's go back on the story though, because it's a part we left out on purpose.
Aye.
Fred Mitchell got locked up and ended up at the same camp.
So here you go. Now go back now.
He ended up at the same camp. The man that lied on Richard Phillips ended up at the same camp with him.
Yeah.
And they was trying to look out. Hey, when he goes around here on the rec yard, they was waiting for the blind spot to do what?
Whack. So boom. Richard, this is Richard's own word right here. He wrote a whole poem about it, or what happened that exact day when it was time to take revenge on Mr. Mitchell. He said he's sitting in the chair. All he do was do poetry, do drawings. That's how he released himself. Paint. Raw ass paint too. They're online and shit like that. Somebody who he was fucking with in prison, one of his homeboys in prison, was like, hey, Fred Mitchell just hit the compound and he on the rec yard right now. So you know what I'm saying? Philip's like, what? This the bitch that set me, that got me sitting in prison for life, you know what I'm saying? So him and that new homeboy both get some knives, some bangers, you know what I'm saying? Tuck them off in their pants waistline. They follow Buddy around the rec yard without Mitchell ever noticing he's being followed. He don't even know he's being followed. So in their mind, as soon as he hit the blind spot, we finna whack this dude, throw him in the corner and go about our business, bruh. So they followed him. Dude finally ended up in the blind spot. Phillips spared him.
Showed mercy.
Phillips' homeboy was like, man, fuck. They said, nah, I'm getting out one day. If I do this, I ain't never getting out. So they said, fuck it, he ain't even know it. Pretty much didn't even know his life was on the line right there, but he spared him. He spared him.
Would you have gotten revenge on Buddy that told on you for something you didn't do and caught you, gave you life? Gave you life?
Oh, what? Come on,
or
man.
would you spare him?
But shout out to the lawyer, I want to say her name was Gabby Silver. She the one that finally, like in 2017, picked up the case again and was like, and read everything, like, hold on, y'all locked this man up with no evidence, or one man testimony.
7 years after he told the parole board he ain't had nothing to do with it.
So she finally picked it up and was like, come on, man, y'all look at this shit. This shit is in black and fucking white. We even got this one dude who actually did the crime telling, man, this man wasn't even, they don't even know this man for real. So he finally got a bond, got out after 46 years.
Bruh, this is one of the most crazy things about these type of cases. People that are innocent, this is how they avoid lawsuits for the justice system. They tell them, hey, give them time served. Basically, you gotta plead guilty, but they'll release you now. Yeah, plead guilty that you committed this crime, but we'll let you go. You're free now.
Yeah, because one of the lawyers did pick it up between the 2010 and 2017. It was like, hey, this is our game plan. Go in there and say that you did it, and I'm gonna get your time served. But he said, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I ain't do that shit. Fuck that.
He said, I'm not pleading guilty to something I didn't do.
I ain't got time online.
And had to spend another 7 years.
Just waiting, you know what I'm saying? But Richard Palumbo, and the people might hate Richard Palumbo for being whatever, but in my book, Richard Palumbo, he was just keeping it G. You know what I'm saying? He was scared for his life. When you're living a life like that, silence is number one thing. So I can't blame the man for just being quiet. Like, hey, bro, even though his homeboy was playing cutthroat from the get-go, telling on him and lying on him, he just kept it solid and kept quiet. But I do also applaud him for standing up at the end when he felt like he was safe. Hey, man, dog had nothing to do with this. You know what I'm saying? I can't get him locked up.
I don't applaud that shit. Your ass should have been said some shit when we went to trial.
He was scared.
He was scared.
Richard was a known killer.
He was a known killer.
He know this man's family. You know what time it's like if me and you go do something and I get jammed up. I know my family in days with you. I gotta be quiet, bro. I know how you rocking. You know what I'm saying, bro? So
but he still caught 4 years. You feel me?
Yeah, for
the reason why I feel some type of way is because I know someone right now that's doing a life sentence, literally almost the same exact story. He didn't open his mouth. He didn't say nothing. Someone else pointed the finger and said he did it. He didn't. The dude that did it got locked up too, bruh. And he didn't say, yeah, I did do it. So he let his homeboy fall with him. And this man doing life right now. And this man was in the Navy. This man was on a submarine, bruh. You feel me? This so I'm like, dang, this why else I don't respect it, you feel me? This man's kids is grown. 46 years in prison.
Yeah, his daughter said she don't want nothing to do with him. Like they got out, she said she don't want nothing to do with him man right now because she like what? She old, you know what I'm saying?
Man, he was teaching his kids how to walk. He go to talking about in the interviews like he just wanted to be able to tie his kids' shoes and just spend time with his kid, hug him again. They ain't want nothing to do with this man.
But his son, he trying to reconnect with him on paint because his son actually a painter too. can do things, but after all them times being apart and never seeing them for 46 years, it's kind of hard to get a connection, man. That's connection pretty much. Man lost his whole life.
You ruined this man's whole life.
He ain't nothing gonna be at all.
You ruined this man's whole life. That's why I can't respect it. Stand up and say something, you feel me? Guess what? If I ever did something and he got jammed with me off rip, this man got kids, this man got a lady that like cherished and devoted to. Come on, man, I'm not finna ruin his mama, his sister, everybody. I know his whole family. I know this man's whole family. We just went to the movies together with his whole family. So what do I look like? Not if I know I'm dead to the wrong and I'm about to catch, I'm gonna let him fall with me? Hell no, bro.
So he could have did so. He could have at least said, well, listen, I ain't telling on him, but I can tell you one thing. He wasn't even there for the get-go. But with all the evidence that was already in front of him, this man told on himself. Why he didn't even get charged with that crime for even saying that, hey, I set this up. Because he robbed. How do y'all spend it so much? That's come from lazy police officers who don't want to do a real investigation. No blood stains from the car came up. No fingerprints on the car came up.
I believe that.
Buddy was even arrested for the armed robbery charge with the murder weapon. Fred Mitchell. With the murder weapon, but somehow it got placed over with these guys. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. I keep it going. But
damn,
man.
It's a messed up situation. It's a messed up situation.
You know what I'm saying? He out there living his life now. He's actually a happy, grateful guy right now. Say, hey, man, everything happened for a reason, but what else can you really say?
Y'all go buy this man's paintings,
yes,
man.
Palumbo died in COVID in prison. He died, so he already dead. Fred Mitchell died from overdosing and drugs and alcohol. And your home, and the main guy, Richard Phillips, he's still living. They say actually he even look younger now, like somehow he reversed time, we're looking young and just living life and enjoying life, man. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy how life could turn just in the blink of an eye, man. 46 years, the longest wrongful prison sentence ever in the U.S. history, man. And this happens so much. You had over 2,500 cases that been overturned. What's it called? Exoneration?
Exoneration.
And you still got people in prison right now who I just know who ain't commit the crime, but just cause lazy system, lazy police officers, hey man, we got our killers, case closed, let's keep moving.
They just, all they care about is they're responsible for the charges. So if 10 restaurants get robbed on this road and you get caught doing 10 blocks over, but they ain't catch the one on this 10, they're trying to close these cases.
Oh, we got it.
So they label, he got caught for robbing restaurants over here, put them all on him. And you go to trial on this one, you dead to the wrong, guess what? You don't want to go to trial on these.
That's that. That's how they got them.
Lower recidivism, man.
So, man, fix the justice system.